What up, y'all? Thank y'all for coming back again for another episode of the Circle Podcast with me and my bro. I'm E. That's L. And this week, man, we got a few things to run down. There's a few things to run down, man. We're gonna get into the what makes a classic, man. I keep hearing this word thrown around and people saying this a classic, that a classic. You know what I'm saying? So what makes a classic? Obviously, it's a little subjectivity in that, but what makes a classic? It got to be like certain boxes that need to be checked off for a classic, at least in my eyes. Granted, everybody may not view a classic the same. And is there a ranking in classics? Like you can have reasonable doubt at a classic, and you have like Water for Chocolate or B as a classic. Are they the same type of classic, or does it just come down to personal preferences? So we got that. Then Jpeg Mafia pretty much said, we don't want to hear that weak shit no more. We're going to get into his comments on Drake, man. But first, we got to start off with uh, Lil Sims. Her latest release, Lotus, it just dropped,
Uh,
what,
six,
last Friday?
June 6th. Yep.
Last Friday, the same date as the Carter 6. Lil Wayne dropped as well. You know, that's been getting a lot of
Shout
noise lately.
shout out to
You
Lil Wayne.
Yeah,
He's still a
don't do that.
legend, man. He's still a legend.
I didn't say nothing about the album, sir. I didn't say nothing about the album. Do you want to get into that a little bit, or you no, Lil Sims?
Let's stick
So
with Lil Sims.
yeah, man. So the Lil Sims is I like it. I like the Lil Sims, man. While listening to this album, this sound like an album where you got some stain in the game, to say the least. Like you put out a couple of projects and everything, and it sounds like to me before I even read it, because I did after listened to the album, I went and read the Vogue article or interview that she did, and the album sounded like to me like this album you'll drop when you and I just found out she's like six projects in. But and this is exactly the sound of the album to me. It sounds like a more well-rounded, like I'm here type of album, you know? And it sounds like an album that she's been going through some stuff. So, and in the reader article, it made more sense to me with what she was going through because she took some time off to deal with some issues she's been going through as far as like suing her long, like childhood friend slash producer Inflow, I believe, suing him and going through doubts and cases of not sure if she still want to do it or if she's even ready for it and trying to find a new tribe to put together this artwork, man. Um, off back, I'll say my two favorite joints that I could think of right now, I believe is Only and Free. And it
Yeah.
just so happens those go back to back. Only and Free, I'm really digging those. The whole album is dope. I
It
say
is.
my least favorite song is Young. I could kind of
I knew
understand
you
what she
was
was.
I knew you was gonna say that.
How do
I,
you know I was going to say that?
I don't know. I just had a feel. I like Young, but I'm surprised that I like it. And I had a feeling that you probably weren't gonna dig it.
You know what? I not that I won't dig it. It's my least favorite. Um, but I had to listen to it at least two or three times to figure out where she was going with it.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? It made more sense to me why she did it. And you know, I can have an appreciation for it.
Yeah.
But overall, man, it's a mature album. Um, it's not like any it's not, you know what I mean, the regular norm hip hop album. As you know, Lil Sims, she's gonna always test the waters and go out the box some. So I feel like she had a different sounds and every and energy on this, man, but somehow she put it together nicely, man. I give it maybe a three and a half, four, maybe a four.
Yeah.
So Salute to Lil Sim, man, but the very dope project, man. How you feel about it, bro?
I think it's really good too, man. I think it's really thoughtful, personal. Um my first impressions of it kind of felt like she was like speaking from a journal or a
Mm,
diary, really getting into her life and some of her relationships. Um some of the themes that I picked up from listening to it was that betrayal, like she had been betrayed,
yeah,
manipulated, and that she had really kind of been going through some negative relationships, personal relationships and business relationships. And just listening without any context or any info, I was like, wow, this kind of heavy. Some of it was kind of heavy.
yeah,
But to counterbalance some of the more heavier stuff, you kind of also had themes of like victory and power. It was a few lines and themes where I caught her kind of referencing her being a powerful black woman and, you know, kind of seeing her way through things. And she kind of touched on like healing and counseling and therapy. She mentioned, her therapist and things of that nature. So it's like she went through a lot, but she was working through it all at the same time.
yeah,
So I thought that was dope. And like you said, I think you said you read the Vogue article. I read the Guardian article about her, and I didn't know that her and Inflo, who had worked on, I believe, like three of her biggest projects, The Gray Area, Sometimes I Might Be Introvert, and the other one, I forgot the name of the other one that came out in 2022. But he was kind of the engine behind the sonics of her most most celebrated albums.
yeah.
And he's also the guy that's behind the group Salt, and he's
Mm.
also the guy that's behind Cleo Soul's music, and that's her husband. That's Cleo Soul's husband.
Oh, I didn't know
So
that. Yeah, I
yeah,
didn't know
so
that.
so they all kind of was connected and appeared to be like at least musically they were tight knit, and it was working because those albums that Lil Sims put out with Inflow really worked, man. They were really good. So, but this is without him, and she still did her thing though. It still sound good. The main producer for this album is a brother named Miles Clinton James, and I think he
Yeah,
he from the UK as well. And they made a really good project as well, man. So it's sad hearing the rocky turn of events. Also, too, I read in the article that her manager, she had a manager for quite a while. His name was Robert Swerdlow. Uh, but she dropped him back in 2022. So I kind of felt like she was talking to him and she was talking to Info and she might have been talking to other family and friends that she just kind of felt, that did her wrong, or she was just in a bad space with these people, and but she's trying to figure her way up out of it all. So it was an
yeah,
interesting album. I did dig like some of the more, upbeat records the most. But all in all, man, I appreciated it. My favorite records was I like Thief a lot. I like Thief.
mm.
Um, what was the one after Thief?
Young
Flood.
Blood. Okay.
Yeah, with the drums, sound like the tribal drums. I like
Okay.
Flood.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Free is probably my favorite record on there.
Free is fire, man.
Yeah. I like Peace. That was dope. And I think I like Lonely, where she was kind of vulnerable talking about, she was thinking about not even making music no more, and she was talking about that on there. So I thought that was
Yeah, man.
yeah. So
Yeah.
overall, man, I think I'm in line with you. I give it like a 3.5. I give it like a strong 3.5. I think it's a good project.
Yeah, man. Salute to Lil Sims. I haven't listened to all her projects. I'll be honest. I haven't listened to all her
Me
projects. I
neither.
listened to three of them.
Me
The
too.
Gray Area. I think I listened to the last one she dropped before this one, that Introvert album, I think it was. Maybe I can't remember, but I listened to three of her projects, man. Um, and I know we had a discussion about her and another artist. I'm not gonna get into it because I don't want to compare two women. Um, but where would you rank her? Well, how many projects you listen from Sims? Let me ask that.
So the one that I forgot the name of is called No Thank You. So I've listened to four No Sam's albums.
Okay, cool. So
Yeah.
you more equipped to speak on this than me. What would you rank her so far, like overall amongst like
The current
just overall period?
of all females.
She got four out. You listen to four albums.
So you mean like of all time? We going back to the Lights and the Queen Latifahs, or we talking about like currently today in
You know what?
20?
Let's do current. We'll do it. We'll
Okay.
take it light. Let's do current.
So currently female MCs or just MCs period? If we do, I do this.
We could do both. We could do both,
Right.
man, because yeah.
If we do MCs period, man, I'm gonna say Lil Sims is, I'm gonna say at least top 15. I don't know where to place her in the 15, but she's in the 15.
Okay then. Okay then. Yeah, man.
I want to say 10, but I'm not. I haven't like is I've heard four of her albums, but I haven't like lived with her music like that. You know what I'm
I
saying?
can understand that. I can understand that.
But just
Just
based off
huh?
what I've heard, I would say the top 15 MCs, period. And when it comes to female MCs, I personally want to say top three.
Hmm. Now I would say as far as like current today, I would rank her at least top 10 as far as artistry. Like she's always, you know what I mean, testing the waters, doing something different. She's not trying to stay in the same lane. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely would put her top 10. Um, just as far as like I guess rap and lyricist wise, as far as the current, I'll probably put a like you said, 15 or 20. Top 15 or 20.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. Salute to Sims, man. But one artist that maybe not going outside the box so much, at least according to this brother who is experimental, you
Mhm.
know, Jpeg Mafia pretty much had an article, at least what I was reading on Hip Hop DX. I don't know if that article came from them or somebody else, but on Hip Hop DX, I was reading, and he was pretty much saying that people don't give a fuck no more. We want to hear something different than you bitching about women. That's pretty much what he was saying. Now, and I wanted to touch on that because there has been some discussion, I guess, around Drake's CLB album, or is that the CLB album, Certified Lover Boy album? There has been some talks about him staying in the same subject matter and not showing any growth in his music.
Was it CLB or was it the For All the Dogs?
I think it was CLB.
Okay.
It could be. They was back to back pretty much.
Right.
So it's right around there. And I'm sitting here, I'm looking at it, I'm like, first of all, what made him say that or what have you? Like, was he just tired of it, or was it just for shock value to put his name back in the algorithm? Or, but then I started thinking, I'm like, I kind of feel like this. Like, I kind of been saying this, like
Mm.
with Drake music, like obviously he catered towards the women, but what else do you have? Or is it just if it's all women? I mean, hey, Pusha T rap only about pretty much coke and drug dealing. So now, people have been saying stuff about Pusha T only staying with that subject line, but we give him grace because he raps so fucking well about this. And he even came out like, dog, I'm going to be the Martin Scorsese. Like, you don't go to Martin Scorsese and want him to do some type of other movie or this, that, and the third. So with Drake, should he just be allowed to rap about like what he's been rapping about, or do you want to see growth in it? Growth in his artistry? For all the people that's liable to say, you know what I mean, to play the pause game or whatever. Growth in his artistry.
Okay. What two I want to do two things. One,
What's up?
I want to talk about JPEG Mafia real quick, and then I want to address Drake's artistry.
Do
So
you, bro?
so first I want to say I'm a huge fan of JPEG Mafia. I think he
Mm.
dope. And in our hip hop group chat, I
Hmm.
I've brought him up a lot of times, man, because he does things in a different, exciting type of way. He produces most of his music. His raps are interesting, a little political at times, a little social at times, and a lot of humor and just aggression. So I'm a fan, man. I actually read the article.
Mm.
I read the Billboard article, and he really wasn't talking about Drake. He mentioned Drake, but he was shooting at several artists. He mentioned Alchemist, he mentioned Earl Sweatshirt, he mentioned a whole underground. He said
I
everybody is boring.
I did see that. I did see where like Earl Sweatshirt, and Alchemist make it the same old
And
song.
so, so he was shooting at everybody. He was shooting at everybody. And when I read the article, I took it just as classic, traditional MC bravado or artist bravado, feeling like they at the top of their game and they the best. That's how I read it. I didn't really see it as he was shooting at Drake. But
Mm.
funny enough though, Hip Hop DX, Torre, and a few other people in publications, that's the headline. JPEG Mafia shoots at Drake or shitting on Drake. He wasn't, man, but that gets the traction going.
And you know what? Who's watching this? I like to apologize because I didn't read the Billboard article. I thought it came from Hip Hop DX, but no, I mean, I will go back and read the Billboard article. So sorry about that. No, I mean, just for focusing on that. But I did remember somebody putting a snippet put a little excerpt up of him talking about Alchemist and Earl Sweatshirt. So
Yeah. But Hip Hop DX decided to just focus on his comments about Drake. Go figure, right?
I'm about
But
to say, yeah. So it wasn't him looking for like putting his name in the
no,
algorithm. It was Hip Hop DX doing it.
exactly. JPEG Mafia was number one. This is dope that he got a damn interview in Billboard because JPEG Mafia is an underground beast. But you know, that being said, he really is popular. A lot of people listen to his music, go to his shows. He's performed at a lot of festivals and the whole nine.
Mm.
He a beast. But again, he wasn't focusing on tearing down or coming at Drake. He was shooting at pretty much everybody, especially the underground. He said that he better than the whole underground. And, you know, he got to prove, he got to show and prove. Um,
Yeah,
I don't know how Alchemist or Earl or other underground artists would take his comments,
yeah.
but probably not too seriously, man. It was just shit talking, in my opinion. It was just shit talking.
Okay then. Okay, give me one sec. One sec. One sec. One sec.
Yeah,
Just gotta grab some.
yeah.
Sorry, man. Phone about to die. Got to put it on the charger. Hold on. There we
Uh,
go. All right, we back. We good. We good. We good. Uh, there we go. There we go. Um.
Now,
Okay then. Okay then, man.
yeah, that's
Mhm.
I just don't want people to think that that was the case. But as far as Drake's artistry is concerned, I personally don't feel like he has to go in any particular direction. I think that, like you mentioned, Pusha T, and I mean, we could probably run down a lot of artists who they typically just stay in a particular pocket.
A lot do, bro. You know what I mean? But for some reason, I think it's just, you know what I mean? I don't know. For some reason, yeah.
Yeah, they stay in a particular pocket, and to me, as long as they doing it right or doing it well, I don't care. You know, and so I do over the years and over time, I do like for artists to switch up their production, um, maybe try different sounds and styles. And Drake has done that, but people say he's what, fighting, or what they say he be doing. I forget the term they use, but they basically say he be stealing people's sounds and styles.
Oh
But
yeah, he try to
he say he a
emulate
culture
other people.
vulture. Yeah.
Yeah,
So whatever, he can't win. He can't win for losing. But yeah, I don't think he need to switch up just because.
yeah,
But I am welcome for artists to, spread their wings and do their thing, man. You know.
yeah.
So
Okay then.
if he does kind of shake the table and start doing things differently, I'm on board to check it out and listen. But if he doesn't, I'm still pressing play, to hear what he
Yeah,
come.
I'm pressing play. I'm pressing play. I'm interested in this new Iceman album he got coming out, man. I'm interested in it. You know what I'm saying? They say he been hard at work, like tunnel vision on this album, man. So hopefully great things come from it. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
like the culture or community or what have you, I kind of, you know what I mean? I'm not saying they want to see his downfall, but they watching. They are
They,
watching.
they want the downfall. They
Okay
want the
then.
downfall. I mean, I think the only people that want him to succeed are the his fans. But everybody else that's kind of like casual or pro Kendrick or just hate Drake, I think there's a lot more people that would rather see him fall.
Okay. But let's not dwell on those two because we talked about those two kind of ad nauseum. Let's not talk about those two, but I am interested in the Drake album. Hopefully, it could be, you know what I mean, some pure heat because I feel like I'm not going to say he needs it, but it will greatly, you know what I mean, help alleviate some of the weight that's been put on him as of recent. You know what I mean? Now, whether
Mhm,
it's going to be a classic, I don't know. Speaking
mhm,
of classic, though, I wanted to talk about what makes an album classic. You know what I'm saying? Because that word be getting thrown around like, oh, this is classic and that's classic and this, that, and the third. And you know what I mean? And obviously, part of it is subjectivity, man. It's all in like what you connect with. What I may deem a classic, you may not deem a classic. But then there's albums out there where pretty much the majority have it up there with, no, I mean, have an album up there as a classic piece of work. You know what I'm saying? You got your Illmatics, you got your Reasonable Doubt, you got your Only Built for Cuban Links, you got all these albums, right?
right.
So what makes an album a classic? I'll go first on this one. I'll go first on this one. First of all, let me just name off some classic albums that people may not think are classic albums. I gotta go with Nelly first album, Country Grammar. I'm gonna go with Project Pat, Mr. Don't Play, Everything's Working, I believe. And I'll tell you why such a unique classic in one specific way, and I'll let you know. Um, what other albums I feel like are classic? I low key want to say Internal Affairs by Pharoah Monch is classic, or at least it's a cult classic type of album. I don't know, one that didn't get that much attention, but it's just so beloved, man.
Right.
Um, but those three albums that I will put up there amongst all the other ones. Uh, Now as far as Project Pat, what made that album so fucking classic was the very first song was his hit song, Chicken Head. Because usually when you have like a hit song, they'll put it in the middle of the album or something of that. It's not the very first song you hear. Usually you got your introduction, but nah, bro. Project Pat came straight out the gate with Chicken Head. 'Cause it's like he already knew what the rest of the album was going to be, so he wasn't even worried about it. That's why such a unique classic for me because I haven't seen nobody do something like that uh since then, pretty much. So he pretty much the only one I've seen take his hit record and put it as the number one track on the album. Um, but what makes the album a classic, man? I feel like not every song you have to like, but at least has to be 85, 80 to 85%. You know what I mean? It has to be like no 80 to 85% has to be hidden. 80 to 85%. Know what I mean? Anything less than that, I gotta knock it out the classic range. I feel like time does it. Because some stuff we may jump and call it a class, but some stuff you can hear once. Some stuff you can hear once and you know what you're listening to. You know what I'm saying? Like when I heard Reasonable Doubt, I knew what I was listening to. You know what I'm saying? When I heard Only Built for Cuban Links, I knew what I was listening to.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I knew
I,
what I was listening to, bruh.
I can't say that, man.
Really? You
I
had to
mean,
let it grow on you?
not that I didn't like, I liked the albums, but I couldn't say that on first listen I knew this was it. I mean, I knew I liked it, I loved it, but yeah, I couldn't say that, man.
Interesting, interesting.
Yeah,
It's just a few albums when you hear it, man. It just give you that like, oh shit, like Good
mm,
Kid, Mad City.
yeah. But with that, I heard that and I was like, wow. But I didn't say it's no way that I could have ever imagined that 10 years plus down the line that it would still hold up the way it has. You just never know. You just never know.
Now, one album that shocked me that I love, but I didn't know it was gonna be as received as it was Mad Villainy.
Mm,
MF Doom and Madlib. I love that album, but I didn't know it was gonna be received as such by the masses like that because they
yeah.
put that album up there. You know what I'm
Now,
saying?
that might be more of a cult class.
I can understand that. I
Yeah.
can understand that.
I think it's a classic, but the reason why I say more of a cult classic because we find this discussion kind of getting shaky when you factor in the masses or commercial consumers and listeners, and then people that are a little more diverse in their listening taste. And certain things that people who are more diverse in their listening taste are exposed to, the masses ain't never heard. They never heard it.
Mm,
So the average rap fan probably never heard Mad Villainy. I would I would I would go out on a limb and say that. The average just
okay.
regular rap fan ain't never heard Mad Villainy. And if they did hear it, they may not think it was classic. But for those of us that are a little more, like I said, diverse and listen to niche artists and niche sounds and subgenres. We heard Mad Villainy and we hear it today and we say, yeah, that's one of the ones.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And what other albums, man? You got so
I want to say the
what
same thing, not to cut you off, E, but I kind of want to say the same thing for that Project Pat, where the masses probably haven't pressed play on that album. Like I and on top of the masses not pressing play, you got a certain pocket and group in hip hop that ain't never pressed play or don't appreciate that style and sound of hip hop.
mm.
You know, the snooty nose in the air hip hop fan probably never heard Mr. Don't Play. So
Mm.
now I have, and I agree with you. I do think it's classic as well, but I, I try to listen to a little bit of everything. So
Yeah, 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 yeah.
you gonna find me agreeing that, you know, so many different sounds and so many different artists have done their thing versus a person that hasn't had that exposure or desire to listen to so much.
So does the classic have to capture a certain moment in time, or does it have to be more like broad and appealing where if you play it years later, it still could relate to the time you're living in versus when it came out?
So this is what my perception of classic is, because I I'm a nerd, so I look into the history of the word, the etymology of it all.
Oh, you going, no, I mean,
So
the etymology. Okay.
yeah, so initially the word was it referred to a type of people. This was in Rome and in Greece. It was a certain class of people. So the upper echelon.
Mm,
Those were classics. Then later on in time, it became a word to kind of refer to things that came from that time period. So Greco-Roman philosophy, the Greeks and the Romans, architecture and art, that was considered classic or classical. And then again, words change and grow in their meaning. So it became a term to just represent something that is of the highest quality. It's of the highest quality and it has a timelessness to it and it's enduring in excellence. So for me, something that's classic, it has to last beyond the moment in time that it comes out to
mm.
be a true classic.
I feel like it also has to be different from what you're hearing as well. Like it has to dare to be something different. Like I feel like Illmatica was something different. Like he had his face, his childhood, like his the face of his younger self on the album, like, you know what I mean, with his projects behind it. You know what I mean? Just from that alone, and then you get into the music, it's almost like a movie playing out, an audio movie playing out in front of you. What other some classics? I feel like maybe sometimes you get those I feel like it has to stand out. I feel like it has to what else? I feel like it has to have some type of diversity to it as far as the subject matter and the content. I feel like it has to some type of switch up in there. At least for me, it can't just be the same thing over and over again on an album. It has to withstand a test of time. It has to be able to reach people in a certain way where they can grasp to it. You know what I'm saying? Um, I feel like when you hear it, I mean, obviously, and this is the subjectivity coming into play. I feel like when you hear it, it just does something to you, man. Like whether it changes, you know what I mean? It changes your mindset. Puts you in a better mood. You can sit back like, damn,
Right.
this is really a fucking great album. Like stuff like that. I feel like that come into play with it. Um, those are the main things I feel like what a classic needs, man.
I,
Um,
I
uh,
gotta something I want to throw in there because you said something that I have been thinking about because you said this is a great album. I think that good albums and great albums have become underappreciated.
think so?
I think so because I think especially within the last decade or so, yeah, the last 10, I'll say 50, 10, 15 years, this whole classic term just get thrown around. And people be looking for
Mm,
an album to be a classic, classic. But a good album is a good album. It's not easy to make a good album. It's not easy to
nah,
make a great album. And it's damn sure not easy to make a classic.
nah,
And I think
nah.
that we've gotten, as consumers and listeners, have kind of gotten away from really appreciating the good and the great and just had our heads in the clouds looking for classics. But the main element for me that will reveal if something is classic is time. We gotta give it time. So, like I say, it's a work of enduring excellence. So when something we dealing with endurance, you gotta stick around. You listen to the album in January of 2025 and you think it's fire, but come July, you really ain't thinking about it, or
Mm,
come 5 years later, you forgot it even came out. You know, it can't be a classic if it doesn't endure and if it doesn't stand the test of time. And when I said, you know, maybe a few weeks or a month ago, we was talking about classics, and I mentioned the Victory Lap and how I thought that the Victory Lap was a classic in the moments that because I listened
hmm
every single day, and then I kind of put it down for a while, and I went back to it, and I was like, this is a great album. Um, some really great moments, and maybe like some classic songs, but as a whole album, I no longer felt like it was classic. And even more blasphemous, I don't think Blueprint is a classic album.
That was crazy when you said it. That was crazy when you said it. But you know what I mean? I'll
I
let
just,
you go ahead and rock.
I just don't. I mean, listen now. Granted, it has classic songs. It definitely has classic songs and moments, but as a whole album, top to bottom, to me, I don't think it's classic, but I think it's great though. That's just I think classic for me is just is I'm making that such a it's like
But you're right though. You know you have to have this standard though, because when you
yeah.
say classic, you putting that as like the elite of the elite albums. You know what I'm saying? Like I could see where you're going with it. Now Blueprint, I don't know. You may have been sniffing a little something. I don't know, baby. You may have been. You gotta relax on the cocaine, baby. You gotta relax. I gotta go back
It's
and
a
listen to Blueprint again.
it's a
I gotta
great
go back and
album.
listen to
It's great though. And
it.
that's the
Bro,
thing. Like me saying that is great. It's like, what nigga? You saying it ain't classic? It's still a great album.
you
I'm not saying it's weak. I'm not saying it's trash, it's mid. No, it's a great album, but I don't think it's classic though. To me.
okay then? Okay then. But you know why we do that, bro? Like for people that really is like you say, nerds of the culture of hip hop or whatever, man. You know how we get, bro. Everything is subjective, pretty much, man. But somebody say something is not a classic, like imagine somebody telling you Only Built for Cuban Links is not a classic. Imagine somebody telling you It Was Written or Illmatic wasn't a classic.
I mean, I would disagree, but I definitely would want to hear they reasoning. I think those are classic albums, but when we start getting into the weeds of subjectivity, it gets crazy, man.
I can understand. I can understand, man. But man, um, what other some classics out there? The Bombs dropped a classic album, Brothers Under Madness.
Yeah, for sure.
Dog, I listened to that like some months ago. I'm like, wait a minute, this should sound better now than it did then.
Definitely. It was a great album too,
And I'm
man.
like, I don't know. I guess it was record label stuff, man. But salute to the Bombs, man. Brothers Under Madness. You know what I mean? Salute to y'all. What others? Diggable Planets to me had two classic
Two.
albums.
Two.
I love Diggable Planets.
Yeah.
I may live. I think I'm in a Diggable Planets mood, bro. I may listen to some Diggable Planets when I get off of here. Um, Adrenaline Rush by Twister.
Now I listened to Adrenaline Rush recently too.
Don't you do it. Don't you do it, man. Don't you do it, brother. Don't you do it. Dog, you know why it's classic? Let me tell you why it's classic. At least it's a local classic, right? So you about to be on some bullshit. I can already see. I can already see. You on some bullshit already. I can see it right now.
It's a great
The,
album. It's a
don't do
great
this shit,
album.
man. Don't do this.
No, it's a great album. And it has classic songs, but as a whole, right now I have to stop short of saying it's a classic album. But it's a
Let
great
me ask you. Let me ask you this: Was it because the last few songs on the album
right. It's a few
that
on
dropped off for you?
it's a few on there that I was like, eh. And the same with Blueprint. Like I'm looking at Blueprint, right? So
What song on Blueprint though? I really want to know that. I gotta go back and
like,
listen to Adrenaline Rush again, but
yeah.
I really want to know the Blueprint songs.
So listen, this is me. You know, H to the
Go
Izzo.
ahead, Lynn.
Izzo is alright, man. It's not. Eh. That was the single. It was cool, but I'm not playing that right now, man. I'm not getting excited to hear Izzo. No disrespect. Um,
Okay,
it
but that was such a dope song, bro.
was okay. It was okay. Play if you play Ace to the Izzo today, let me know if you get that feeling in your gut. Like this is that. If you do, then I respect it. I respect it.
Okay,
Jigger that nigga? No. No.
nah,
No. We gotta keep it real. No.
no, this
No.
is no.
Hola Ovito. Dope record, but it's not it's
I
not
mean, but it's still a dope record though,
it's
man.
dope record. But I'm saying it's dope record.
Oh, what? I mean, you gonna have those records on a classic album. I'm not saying every record has to be a hit, but
I'm
Ola
just,
Ovito, you know what I mean? You
I'm
can
just
put that on a classic album.
I'm just saying it's cool. Um Now this is a little shaky for me too, because when I found out the history of this record and I heard the original version and it's a home team, hometown type of situation, Never Change was a song recorded by a brother from Chicago named Payroll. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Somehow I got in the hands of Hove, I guess probably
Kanye
from
gave it to
Kanye.
Ho.
Probably
Kanye
from
gave it to
Kanye.
Ho. Let's just
Probably
say.
right. Probably from Kanye. Hove just basically cut and paste and put his bars over it, and it became his record. It's cool, but I don't know, man. Like
I am a rock representer, summer the
it's just
winner, dead or alive,
just when I heard
24/7.
the original, just made me like, I don't know, man. I put an asterisk by it. I put an
Okay
asterisk
then.
by it. But
Okay.
it's still a dope record. Shout out to Payroll though. I think he passed too, so
Damn.
uh, but aside from that, lyrical exercise, it's cool. It's
Was that
cool.
a bonus track or that was the last track on there?
The last track was yeah, it's kind of like the last track. Or it's kind of like a bonus. Yeah, because I guess Mama Loves Me is the last track, right?
Mm.
Which is fire. That's amazing. So, I mean, looking at it, it's close, man. But those three, four songs made it shaky for me, man. It made it shaky
Really?
for me,
Okay.
yeah.
Interesting.
Now, in my opinion, the and I'm alone in this, and I'm okay with it. But I feel like the last rap classic
Sci-Hi the Prince.
is Sci High to Prince.
You're not a you
No
know,
dope on Sundays. No
you
dope
know
on
what,
Sundays.
bro? I'm gonna give some of these albums that like I'm gonna give the Schoolboy Q time. Like I say, that's gonna be appreciated over time. I'm gonna give Auditorium some time. Um, what else? I'm gonna give Mr. Morales and the Big Steppers some time. Um, King Disease 3, I may give it a little more time. I may give what else? Well, the great album out there. Uh I'm gonna give Life is Beautiful a little more time. With Larry June and Two Chains. I'm gonna give that a little more time. But there is one album I still think about to this day, like, man, this is a dope body of work. And that is No Dope on Sundays, man. That Sci-Hi the Prince album, look here. I don't know what to tell people, bro. We talked this over what our bro said, Salute to said, but man, that I don't know, man. There's probably like one or two songs he possibly could have took off of it.
Mm.
But the shit is from front to back, it's just it's a beautiful piece of art, man.
It's
It's a
damn
fucking
hard.
classic, bro. I'm telling you, it's a classic, bro.
It
It's a
is.
classic. It's no
It
music using all these words to try to describe it. It's a classic, man. Ain't
is.
no if and the buts around about it. Ain't no getting around it. It's a classic album, bro. Like, I wonder how long it took him to record that because he's supposed to have been dropping some new stuff. I don't think it dropped yet though. But
Yeah.
man, bro, that No Dope on Sundays is a motherfucker. It's a
And unfortunately, man, I feel like that dropped as far as becoming a maybe a cult classic. Um, most people, like I say, the average rap fan and listener probably ain't even heard that album. Unfortunately, man.
and that's crazy to me.
Yeah,
That's crazy to me. Like how, like the production, also the production and the raps and everything has to be a perfect marriage to me.
yeah,
That's another thing, man.
yeah. And
Like,
you know what else, E? Like when it comes to classic discussion too, it's just like you said, it's a certain feel. And when when you were a teenager or a young person and you you living your life in that sphere of time, things hit you a certain way. But then
mm,
15, 20 years, 30 years later, you might not it may not hit the same. And I
I can
think,
understand that.
yeah, and I think we gotta be honest about whether it does or doesn't. Because
Man, I'm about to listen.
certain things do
Well,
hit still. And
I'm
some
gonna
don't.
have to. I'm gonna have to listen to this blueprint again, man. You out here wilding, man.
It's a great album though. It's a great album. Now I feel like the Black Album is a classic.
Okay, then I was about to say I cut
That's a
this
classic.
down.
But it still hit for me. And it got a couple songs that should have been left off, but
Justify My Thug.
that's one of them.
And people didn't like the last song. First
About
of
the
all,
first song.
yeah,
It's,
I like that song. People didn't like it. I
I wasn't
like it
crazy about
though.
it. I wasn't crazy about
I respect it.
it. Yeah, I wasn't crazy about it. But I still get that feel like, and sometimes even better than that is certain albums that you hear years later. Not only do they give you the same feeling, it give you a new feeling, like a even better. Like you catching stuff like, oh, I ain't catch that before, or it's different pieces and pockets in the music that are revealed to you. That's a classic, man.
What album do you that gave you that feel?
I think the Black Album was one. Cause I listened to
Okay,
that.
then.
Yeah, I listened to that. I was like, oh,
You know it's probably my favorite song on the Black Album,
what?
Allure. Dog.
Man, fire.
That second verse on Allure, my God, bro. Oh my God, bro. That second verse, oh my God. I never felt more alive than riding shotgun and Klein Green five to the copy up run. Oh my, he was he went through a zone, bro. It was just magical, man. It was
Yeah.
magical, man. Um,
Reasonable doubt. When I was going through like all the J shit, and I was listening to The Evils, and it was just like the psychology of what he was talking about, just putting myself into that mind frame of that person dealing with those things back in back in the late 90s and early 2000s. When I heard the album, it didn't connect or hit like that. I thought it was still dope, but as a grown man kind of processing what he's saying, it was like, whoa, this is one of the greatest rap songs ever, in my opinion.
mm,
But yeah, man, that's what classics have to do. I think some albums are really so strong and powerful in the moment, and they really are timely, but they may not be timeless. You know what I'm saying? As the months and the years start to tick away, they may not they may not hold weight. And that's cool because it's so hard to be able to do that for a whole entire album. It's hard to do that for a song. It's hard to make a classic song. You know what I mean? A lot of people kind of luck up on it, but to make an album that's full of classic songs, that's damn near impossible, man.
you know what album I say is a classic, or at
What?
least to me, Pretty Girls Like Trap Music by Two Chainz.
I'm gonna have to go back because I think it's a great album, but I had to listen and see if I
He got
think
some
it's
shit on there, bro. He got some shit on there, bro.
great album.
He got some.
Yeah,
He got some shit on there, bro. But yeah, man, I gotta put that one up there. There's some albums out here, man. But you're right though, man. As far as like the last album that I could think of that was like, I mean, besides The Life is Beautiful, because I still go back to that. But
mhm.
and Samurai too by Lupe Fiasco.
That
Oh,
was fine. It's
but
fine.
that's I Had a Prince though, man. That's I Had a Prince though. I'm trying to think what album I listened to.
I I got one and I need to listen to it again because I haven't listened in maybe a couple years, maybe like 2 years. But Donda, I kind of feel like Donda could be a classic, but I haven't ran it back in a while. But when it came out, man, I played that every day, man.
My
Every
two favorites, my two favorite songs, Watanabe and Jail.
Jail was crazy.
It comes on.
That
Oh,
was
Kanye,
crazy.
man. Kanye, you know what? Yeah, I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it. Salute to everybody out there, man. Jesus Christ. Kanye, man. I don't know, man. Okay then. But I'm gonna man, I kinda wanna listen to some Diggable Planets right now. Then I wanna I don't know. But you know, I ain't gonna listen to none of that. I know what I am gonna listen to though. This future classic.
What?
Uh-huh. It's this group COL. Listen to that future classic, man. So
All right. Okay.
yeah. Oh yeah. I feel that's gonna I wholeheartedly believe, bro, if we put our best foot forward, that will be a fucking classic. I wholeheartedly believe it.
Do you think that artists typically do that? Just curious. Like, do you think they go in and try to make it, or do they just kind of cook up and just see where it go?
I think a lot of artists may go in there and try to think about what people want to hear instead of being an artist.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Like once you focus on what people want to hear, you like, oh, you gotta have, and then a lot of that may have to do with a record label wanting a specific sound or,
mm,
needing a hit record. So people go in there and they will make something that maybe they not feeling wholeheartedly. Because you be hearing those stories like I wasn't feeling the song, but it blew up and did this, that, and the third.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but I feel like those that lock in as artists, I do think that they go in. You know what I mean? They try to create what they feel, but at the same time, they damn sure have that in the back of their mind, wanting to create a classic, man. Like I'm not when I say I feel like it'll be a classic, it's just a feeling I got about it. It's a feeling I got with this whole process that we're going through. I'm like, and just how certain things just fall into place. I'm like, God don't make no mistakes. You know what I mean? So I'm like, this could be something special, man. And I can't wait to just sit in the car, ride around to it. I can't wait to wake up in the morning listening to it. You know what I'm saying? Just
Right.
be in those different spaces and listening to it. You know what I mean? I want to hear what you and said how you know what I mean, you and said, you know what I mean, put y'all magical with the track, man. I can't wait to hear it.
Mhm.
You know
Yeah,
what
I
I
was
mean?
just wondering because, us having a little experience recording and making music, like I wanted to do, the more professional or bigger acts, more legendary acts that they ever have that mentality. Because I feel like a lot of the songs that came out the best for us, we was just having fun, man. We just enjoyed it, put it
Yeah.
down, and it just is what it is. So I
Oh,
was
this this process is enjoyable for me, man. Like at first, I had to really, you know what I mean, sit down with myself, like, you know what I mean, because I haven't wrote in a minute before this. Like I was writing to the beats because actually you kind of kickstart the process because the year before says suggested we work on something. You sent me like some stuff like, man, can you write to this and everything on BeatStars,
right.
and I'll be dragging my foot, man, and that's I'm still working through that, which is crazy, but I don't know, man. I'm enjoying the process. I'm enjoying, what I mean, putting the pieces of the puzzle together.
Mhm. And
You know what I mean?
just rounding out the whole classic conversation, I feel like I feel like we'll never get a square, solid answer at this point. You know what I'm saying? Because hip hop media, you know, is just so wide open. You know what I'm saying? Where once upon a time you had, you know, certain figures, certain publications that kind of commanded and set the tone for what is and what isn't. Whether it was the
Okay then.
source, whether it was different music journalists, they set the tone and said this is, this isn't. But today, you know, it's just wide open, man. So what me and you may can come to an agreement on as what a classic is or isn't, you know, other people may have a different set of standards and rules, man. But I think that the main thing that I want people to kind of consider and take into consideration, no matter what, is that you got to give it time. Time cannot
Yeah,
be eliminated from this process of something being a classic. That's my
yeah. I could, yeah, yeah. I think that may be the key ingredient in that. That may be the main ingredient into it, man. Like time. Like, can you go back to it and still enjoy this art? Can you go
yeah,
back to it and still enjoy it? If you can go back to it years later and still enjoy it, that's how you'll know it's like, okay, then yeah, this is one of them.
yeah.
Yeah, man. You got any more to add to it, man?
Uh, I did have something that I wanted to highlight a few albums that I checked out alongside with the Lil Sims. There's a
Okay,
bro-
then.
it's a brother named TF. He's uh he's affiliated with Schoolboy Q. He's affiliated with Flea Lord. Um, he got his own thing going called Everything Scandalous. But he's from LA and he got an new album called The Green Bottle. It's produced by Crisis from
Justice League
from the Justice League.
from.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I know the production is there.
Man, it's a dope album. It's real solid. It's real solid, man. And I think that's a good one. And it's another album that I checked out. It's called Rock America #3. So Rock America is two guys. One guy named Flea Lord and the other guy's named Ito. ETO.
I
So
heard of him before. I think you shared some stuff with me before.
yeah, I love Ito.
With them.
I love Ito. And I like Flea Lord a lot too. They combine their powers. This the third installment. It's called Rock America 3. It's short. It's like 20, 25 minutes in and out, but fire, man.
I
Fire.
can't think of that group you put me on to that you said was dope. It was two dudes. I forgot the name of them. This was like last year sometime. I can't think of it. It'll come back to me sometime. But man, Akeem Ali dropped two albums, man.
Two?
The te the texture tapes, part one and two, I believe.
Okay.
Hey, I'm a fan of Akeem Ali, man. I've
He
been a
can
fan
rap.
since I've been a fan of his since his first album, Rolling, that
Yeah.
he dropped in 2019. I was playing that damn near the whole pandemic, man. And
Yeah.
then he came back and switched up his style and everything. But that boy be rapping, bro. He raps, bro. Uh that yeah, he's very dope, man. Salute to him. Um, but he got two joints that's dope, man. If you got time, check those out. What else? What else did I listen to? Listen to the Carter Six. Listen to the Little Sims. Um, what else? What else? I was starting on the ASAP Rock album. I didn't finish it.
Oh, I forgot to check that out. Yeah. I gotta
Yeah.
check that out.
So
But
there's some albums out here, man. We got the mid-year review coming up.
before we go, man, real real quick. I don't wanna I don't wanna pour on. I don't want to kick my brothers back in. I don't want to do it. But I want to say this, man. I just want to say this. The Carter Six. Now listen.
I'm gonna let you go ahead, man. You know
Listen.
what?
I'm just gonna be real quick.
Oh,
Listen. Okay. As a honest hip hop dude,
yeah.
it's not Wayne's best work. Um, but I want people to be careful to not get carried away and count Wayne out and think that
Oh no.
he's washed up or done for because he put out a not good project. You know, most artists that's been around as long as Wayne, got some bad albums in their catalog. So some have multiple. I mean, it happens, but I think that if Wayne really locks in, really locks in, he could come back around. He could spin the block, man. He could spin the
Yeah, man.
block and spray everybody.
And you know what? When I was listening to it, I'm like, this sounds like Lil Wayne to me. Like, no, really, bro. Like, it sounds like a little like Lil Wayne to me on this album. Maybe the production could have been better. Some of the songs could have been more like thought out and everything. But this is a Lil Wayne album. Like,
It definitely could have been cut
I don't
down,
you
you
know
know.
what I mean? So, but to me, he was rapping on most of them joints, bro. Like he
And
was
that's,
rapping.
and that's what I told my daughters was asking, about it, because I said it wasn't that good, and they asked me why. And I was like, it was just a lot of aimless rapping. It was a lot of
They listened to it,
no. No. But I feel like it was just he didn't have like any direction or focus. And you mentioned the production. Some of the production just really didn't do it, man. But I just wanted to touch on the Carter Six just to say, okay, yeah, it's not a good album, but
but that's Lil Wayne though. Like he doesn't really like that's a Lil Wayne. Like dog, I've been saying this for years, bro. Lil Wayne, like his Achilles heel is subject matter and content, bro. I've been saying it for years. Like, so I
what
don't
do
know,
people
did
want? Yeah, what do people want?
yeah, like I don't know, maybe people's taste change, with music. Maybe it changed. Maybe it's getting back around to where you have to be saying something in your music. You have to be saying something more than what you've been giving us. But it's a Wayne album, bro. And to me, Wayne was rapping on this album, man. He has some dope stuff on here. Now, overall, I mean, hey, God bless America, but I don't know what to tell you. Like, I don't know. Oh, man, we probably should have just cut this. We ain't cutting this part out. We keeping it in it.
Oh,
What?
salute to Wayne, man. But yeah, this album just wasn't it. And I look forward to him coming back with a vengeance, though.
Oh yeah, man.
With a
Lil Wayne will
vengeance.
be all right. Look
Yeah,
here. If this was Lil Wayne's last project, he's still a
he's
legend.
still a
Like he's
legend.
still a living legend, bro. So that's not gonna change. It's just one project. People talking about it so much because of who he is. If it was just regular Joe Blow, dropped the album, nobody would care. But because it's Wayne and we hold him at a certain level, people gonna talk about it. And people may feel a way if they're not pleased with it.
And before we get out of here, before we get into trouble, do you think that people are kicking his back in a little extra because of who he's attached to?
I didn't think about that. Because he wasn't even on the album.
He
I
wasn't.
didn't even think about it.
He wasn't. Some people
So
thought I thought he might have been though, but he wasn't. But do you think that like some of the extra, because people been going in on this album, man. Do you think that
man,
some of that
dog.
is like,
Dog, since this album dropped, you have producers redoing songs on here.
damn,
And you know what? The main thing is the production that they have a problem with.
yeah.
So yeah, man. You know. Now when she on the phone, I don't bother her, bro. No, I don't. When you're in your meeting. Man, you know what? We still doing a podcast. You cook? Oh, man. So I like a woman in the kitchen. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Say, keep going. That's what I'm talking about. See? That's what you get for jumping on the podcast. You messing it up right now. But on that, know what I mean? Every time. She always want to be a part of the show. Every time.
Oh yeah, we gotta get on, man.
Yeah, of course you want to come on the show. Yeah, we got to get on because if not, you're gonna keep disturbing it. We gonna keep this in here too. The fact that you disturbed this podcast. No, we're gonna keep it in there. I'm not editing shit. You in here now. I'm all right. Oh man. Can you close the door for a sec, babe? We still recording. No man. You see what I gotta go through, bro? Now you see what I gotta go through? You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Salute to Lauren, man.
I guess, man. No, kick a lucky ass out. These floors are clean. Nah, man. But yeah, man. Salute to Lil Wayne.
Salute to
Salute to Lil
Wayne, man.
Sims. Salute to all the artists out there doing dope stuff and creating classic projects. Salute to Jpeg Mafia.
Yep.
Salute to Drake.
Yep.
You got
Yep.
something else you want to add?
No, I was saying the same thing. Salute to all of them, man.
Yeah, man. You got any more you want to add, bro?
No, I'm good.
Man, as always, people, be good to yourselves, be good to each other. God bless. Peace.
Peace.